Yo, it's your boy Marcus and Morrison back on the video. Today we're going to be talking about graphics, frame rate, how much does this really matter in COD Mobile. So graphics and frame rate are two aspects of COD Mobile that basically make your game look better, right? So this is very dependent on what you're playing on, right? You can play COD Mobile on a PC, you can play COD Mobile on a phone, you can play COD Mobile on an iPad, and if you're on a different input than just a normal phone, things can operate differently, right? If you have a really old phone or a really new phone, the game's going to perform differently. So this is just how I play. I haven't really made a video like strictly detailing why I play on the graphics and frame rate settings that I play on. And that's because I feel like I'm in a different boat for how I like to play COD Mobile, right? I'm not a big graphics guy. I personally, I could play this game just like it came out in 2019 right now with the terrible graphics that it had, right? And I was having a blast then, I'll have a blast now, right? So I don't think that's something that matters a lot to me. So I play on low, right? Low frame rate, low graphic quality, and that perfectly happy with that. The game runs fine. My phone's never hot. I never have any problems. I can see everything clearly. It's not like I'm having a hard time seeing people because of that. It's overall, it's great, right? What you're watching now in the first part of this gameplay right here, this is on very high and max graphics and frame rate. And you see right there, I'm lagging, right? I'm lagging. I'm getting the headphone notifications pop up more often, it seems like, which also lags my game out. Overall, it's just a more laggy experience. Yes, look at this Odin. It looks insanely good. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? The game looks great. Like, it looks better than it ever has because they've optimized this game to where that's the case. But my experience with it sucks because I can't play the game normally. You know what I mean? I can't just run around and have fun. I'm lagging so bad I can't hit any shots. You know what I mean? I'm getting absolutely horked on all game because I'm lagging just due to my frame rate being so high and the graphic quality being so high. Now, if you aren't playing, I play on an iPhone 13, for anybody wondering if you're in my boat, if you have these same problems and play on the same phone that I play on. I don't have like a special gaming phone, I think they're called Snapdragon or something like that. I don't have that. You know what I mean? I don't have an iPad. I don't play on PC with like an emulator or anything like that. Not a controller player. Just your normal run-of-the-mill average thumbs player on their iPhone that they bought, right? That being said, I am also, in that circumstance, the majority of players, right? The majority of COD Mobile players are thumbs players that play on their normal phone that they use for day-to-day life, right? They just happen to have the game downloaded and play it from time to time. So they want to enjoy the game. Now, playing on these graphics, yes, it looks great, but it's really hard to enjoy the game if you're lagging everywhere. You know what I mean? Nobody likes lag. Nobody. Not a single person on earth. So it's a rough experience. Now, if you are on, let's say, an iPad, right? You're playing on an iPad. Odds are if you're playing on an iPad, you're not playing thumbs, right? You're probably playing with at least 3 or 4 fingers. You could play with 6. You could play with 8. You probably could play with 10, to be honest with you. And that experience is going to be a whole different boat because the game is going to run probably better on an iPad than it does on an iPhone. I can only imagine, an iPad is a better gaming experience, hence why you see all like the Bobby Plays, Little B's, Space, maybe not Space, I don't know. A lot of these YouTubers that make videos on this game, they play on an iPad, right? Not to mention it's the best touch experience that you're going to get because it's a bigger screen. You can play with more fingers. You can overall just be a better player with it. That being said, what does that mean? That's probably going to enable you to have a better set of like graphics and things. Right here, I just pop a 3-piece like that. I could not do that on the max graphics and the very high graphics on like the other frame rate, very high frame rate. So here, you see me running around smooth. I'm not lagging at all. The only time I might get a lag is if I get like my headphone notification or a text message. I'll lag a little bit then. But once I scroll it up, it goes away. It's just like a split second, which does get me killed. But it's not that big of a deal. I'm not angry about it or anything like that. Now, if you're playing on a PC, totally different boat, right? If you are, I think it's an emulator that you would use to play COD Mobile on a PC. And you could just basically run this game on PC level graphics, which are way better, right? We're not comparing iPhone 13s to PCs. right? Like a gaming PC, somebody spent $1,000 on, versus my iPhone I spent like $400 on, like 6 years old. You know what I mean? It's not close. So I think, I think people overvalue the optimization from a graphics perspective of mobile games. Me personally, man, like they could never make the game look better again. Like they could never optimize like frame rate, graphic stuff ever again for the rest of COD Mobile's life cycle. The way the game looks right now looks beautiful. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's honestly probably the best mobile game out there in terms of the actual graphics exclusively, not just everything else that makes it the best. It's just simply not something that I care about in my, what makes me have fun isn't really like, hey, I'm looking at the game and it looks even better now, right? Like I can't really, you see the grass right there? Like when you play on max and very high graphics and frame rate, the grass looks great. Like it looks like real grass is right there. You know what I mean? Here it doesn't look as good. The ground doesn't look as good. Textures, things like that, they don't look right. Camos don't look as bright. You know what I mean? That's totally fine with me. I don't need that. Right? And I think a lot of players probably don't need that. A lot of players just want to enjoy the game, have fun, and do well, right? And if running a low graphics or medium graphics and frame rate allows them to do good, then that's what they're going to do, right? That just makes sense for anybody. I just kind of wanted to cover this in the fact that like I just don't ever touch on like settings topics very often. And I see a lot of people, back when Warzone Mobile came out, people were roasting it because the game's not optimized well. The map's tearing, you can't even see people. People are blurred out in gray, just an outline of them. You can't actually see players and stuff like that. And I think there is a degree to which optimization, frame rate, these actual looks of the game really do matter, right? But once you get to the point to where everything looks good, right, and everything performs how it should be, I don't think that there needs to be lengths that need to be gone to after that for the game to look absolutely insane. COD Mobile, on the other hand, they've gone to lengths to make this game look phenomenal in almost every regard, from like just the actual playing of the game and how good the game looks. I've shown this game to people. I tell people I've played COD Mobile, right, and their first thought is, "You play mobile games? Like, what?" Like, it's weird, right? People still, I think mobile gaming is still very niche, you know what I mean? Like people don't think of it as like real gaming, right? Because you got PCs nowadays and Xboxes that are crazy and PS5s that are getting better. You could build a $10,000 PC and it'll run any game that's ever been made because they've all been like remade for PCs. So I think that, mobile gaming is very niche. So having this game have the ability to look as insane as it does with the max graphics and things like that is great, because when it comes to like critique of mobile gaming and not being a real thing, that can kind of come out and be like an argument saying, hey, look how great this game looks, right? And I understand it from that point of view. Goddamn Marty Dom. Anyway, that being said, the overall like justification for what I'm going for here is that I don't think people should value optimization, and not necessarily optimization, I would say just strictly graphics and frame rate as much as they do. I've had comments on a lot of my videos like, why does the game look the way it does? When I'll play on medium, the game looks better, right? Well, I'm like, yeah, I could play on medium, but my game would look better. I'll play a lot worse because I'll be lagging and my phone will be overheating, right? I have no overheating problems at all in COD Mobile when I play on low. Never ever. I play 8 hours straight, phone's not overheating really at all, right? If it might get a little bit hot, but that's just like normal for any mobile game, right? And that's like 8 hours of playtime. But if I play on high or very high or max, the phone starts burning in my hand immediately. My like fingers start sweating on the screen, right? Because the phone is hot, right? Just like when you downloaded Warzone Mobile for the first time and it was automatically hot for everybody. You know what I mean? So I just think the actual experience of the game is really more dictated by like how it feels to play it, diluting out the lag, I guess you could say. Hopefully that kind of covered that topic. I've kind of put off this video for a while because I hadn't really done any testing on anything other than very high, max, and then low, which is what I play on normally. The medium, I feel like medium is not as bad, but it's noticeable that I start lagging, right? And then very high, definitely I'm lagging. High, I'm definitely lagging. And max, I am all over the place. You know what I mean? Like I can't hit a shot. right? So it gets progressively worse. So I just play on low because I don't have to deal with any of those problems. I know for a lot of people out there, you're probably playing on a phone, right? Your normal phone. You don't have like a special Snapdragon or iPhone 16 or whatever they're on right now that runs the game really well. It's just simply not. It's not affordable really to be able to kind of just go out of your way to buy an iPad or something to play this game at a higher level, essentially. So for the average Joe in the casual community and most of the players that play this game, it's just better to enjoy the experience for what it is, and that's typically playing on low. That being said, kind of getting near to the end of this gameplay, feel free if you have any sort of input, suggestions, comments, things you think that I am wrong about in terms of the graphic quality, frame rate, as you see here, and what you put it on and what you think about it overall. Feel free to comment them in the comment section down below. I respond to everything, so I will read it and kind of give my thoughts. Like I said, it's different for everybody on every different input. PC, iPhone, Android, probably. I've never played on Android. Could be different from Android to iPhone itself. So that's something else you could probably look into. You know what I mean? And how that'll impact how much you enjoy the game. But with that being said, this pretty much covers everything that I am talking about in this video, mainly the graphic quality and frame rate. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you want to. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers. That'll be pretty huge. It's been your boy Marcus from Morsini. I'm out of here. Peace.